Okay guys, so let's continue with our next lesson, which is the grammar practice lesson. And that's at page number 39 of your students' books. Well, so as you can see in the exercise number 1, it says discussing grammar. The instructions are number 1, choose the correct form in the pairs of sentences. So here we have 8 different pair of sentences, of course, which talk about different situations. So what we need to do is to put the most appropriate future form in each case. So for example, in the number 1, the two options that you have to complete the phrases are will see and I'm going to see. As you can see, the first one is in simple future, the second one is in future with going to. In the case number 2, the two options that you have are you going to do, future with going to, will you do, future simple with will. The third case, the options are will come and I'm coming. Simple future, present continuous, used as future. In the fourth case, are you doing, are you going to do? So once again, present continuous, used to express a future event, and future with going to do. In the case number 5, I'm giving, I'm going to give. Present continuous used as future, future with going to. The sixth case, lives is living. This case, lives is in simple present for a timetable or a schedule. Is living is in present continuous to talk about a plan. Number 7, will see, will be seeing. Simple future with will versus future continuous. And finally, in the number 8, will see versus will have seen. Simple future with will versus future perfect. So let's go back to the beginning and we can solve the number 1 together. So the correct answer for this is I'm very excited. I'm going to see all my family this weekend. In this first case, we need to use going to because we are talking about a plan that we have decided before the moment of speaking. So it is a formal plan, and for that kind of case, we use going to. The second is, I don't know if I have time to come this evening. I'll see. In this case, we use the simple future with will because it's a spontaneous decision that we make at the moment of speaking. If you want, we can do also the number 2 together as an example. The correct answers for this are, so you're off to the United States for a year. What are you going to do there? In this case, once again, we need to use going to. What are you going to do there? Because we are asking about a plan that this person should have because, well, if he's living there for a year, must have something planned to do there. In the second case, the correct answer is, I'm sure you will pass your exams, but what will you do if you don't? In this case, we are asking a spontaneous question to this person, like we are trying to suppose what would happen in this specific situation. Okay, guys, so you need to do the same in each of the rest of the sentences. You need to choose the correct future form. Remember that at our WhatsApp group, we're going to be checking the answers once you have finished checking this video. Okay, so now, when you have finished this activity, which must be for around 5 minutes, we can go to the next page, page number 40, to this exercise number 2. The instructions for these ones are: put the verb in brackets into the correct tense. Use present simple, present perfect, will, or future continuous. Okay, so in this case, we're going to be talking about uh, traveling by plane. To focus on this topic, we need to describe, or first of all, we need to analyze the picture. What can you see here? And also, it's very useful to remember what announcements do pilots make on a flight? So, this vocabulary is useful and these ideas are useful because we're going to be talking about the instructions that are given on an airplane. By the way, I'm also going to be uploading a presentation of PowerPoint with the corresponding vocabulary to solve this exercise. So remember to check it at our Google Classroom. All right, so in order to complete this, as we said, you need to choose the correct future form. And when you have finished completing these sentences, you can verify your answers at page 127 at the track 5.5. And also we're going to check that at our WhatsApp group. Okay, so you must take around 8 to 10 minutes to complete this. Once you have finished, we can go to the exercise number 3, which is talking about you. In this case, instructions are: complete the questions with the most natural future form. Sometimes there are several possibilities, so especially remember this, that in most of the cases there is going to be more than one possible answer. So the questions are in the number 1, where, and in parentheses you have you go, which are the subject and the verb that you need to use, on holiday this year. How, in parentheses you get there. 3, how long, parentheses you be away for. Number 4, which hotel, parentheses, you stay in. Number 5, what time, parentheses, your flight arrive. Number 6, what, parentheses, you do while you're on holiday. So let's do the number 1 as an example. As you can see, the possible answers are: where are you going on holiday this year? We can use present continuous to talk about a future event or a future plan. But it is also possible to say, where will you be going on holiday this year? Because in this case, we are using future continuous to talk about an action that is supposed to be in progress in this year, in this case. Okay, so you need to continue doing the same. Remember that there can be more than one possible answer. You can take around 10 minutes to solve this activity as well. Okay, so the next activity, when you finish the previous, is this one, where we're going to practice about um, the ways of agreeing or disagreeing about future predictions with I hope so or I don't think so. The instructions for this are: listen to the questions and complete the different responses. Well, in this case, instead of listening, of course, I'm going to give you the possible answers that you can use to answer to these questions. So, the questions are, first of all, number 1, do you think you'll ever get a job? Question number 2, are you going out tonight? Number 3, do you think the world's climate will change dramatically in the next 50 years? So, the possible phrases to answer these questions are: I think so, I hope so, I don't think so, I doubt it, who knows, I might, I won't, and I will. So, as you can see here, you have some prompts and you need to complete them with the phrases that I have just told you. So, in order to solve this, you can take around 5 minutes. So, when you finish, you can advance to the activity number 5. In this activity number 5, the instructions are: ask and answer similar yes-no questions about future possibilities in your life. So we have 3 sets of different topics. The set number 1, the Topics are be famous, go to Florida, marry a millionaire, speak perfect English, have grandchildren. The set number two, the situations are go to the cinema soon, which I don't think so, meet friends this weekend, neither. Number and the final one, eat out in the next few days, I mean. And the set number three is we discover life on another planet, people live for 150 years, and find a cure for cancer. So, to make these questions sound more natural, you need to choose or you need to use the questions do you think you will? And the other possibility is are you going or are you going to? So, by using those questions, you need to ask and give your personal answers about every of these topics. Well, as you know, we're going to be checking the answers through our WhatsApp group in a couple of minutes. Okay, guys, so these are all the instructions and explanations for this practice lesson, and see you in a while for the final lesson for today's class. So thanks for attending, and we stay in touch. See you soon.